what it was like to be every rank of oil smuggler in the Strait of Hormuz. Every single day, roughly 20% of the world's oil passes through a stretch of water just 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, the Strait of Hormuz. It connects the Persian Gulf to the rest of the world, and for decades, running parallel to the legal oil trade has been another economy, invisible, ruthless, and worth billions. This is what it was like to be every rank of oil smuggler in the Strait of Hormuz. Rank 1, the dock worker. You're 22 years old. You live in Bandar Abbas, a port city on Iran's southern coast. Your father was a fisherman. His father was a fisherman. But the fish are gone, and the sanctions of here. You get a call from your cousin. He says there's work at the docks, night shifts, no questions, cash in hand. The pay is 3 times what you'd make at the legal terminal. You say yes. Your job is simple. When a certain tanker pulls in after midnight, you don't log it, you don't scan it. You look the other way, and in the morning, you report that nothing came in. That's it. That's your entire job. You don't know where the oil goes. You don't ask. Every week, an envelope appears under your locker. Inside is enough cash to pay your mother's rent, your sister's school fees, and still have some left over. You tell yourself you're not really doing anything wrong. You're just not doing something. There's a difference. You believe that for about 6 months, until the man who hired you tells you that if you ever talk to anyone about what you see at those docks, your family will have a problem. Suddenly, the envelope feels heavier. Rank 2, the small boat operator. You run a fishing boat, except you haven't caught fish in 2 years. Your boat is a converted wooden dhow, the kind that's been sailing these waters for 1,000 years, except now, hidden beneath false flooring and behind fake bulkheads, you can carry up to 40,000 liters of fuel oil on a single run. Your route is simple. You load up at a small, unmarked jetty outside Kesh Island after 2 a.m. You cross into Omani waters, kill your lights, and meet a contact vessel somewhere in the dark. Transfer the fuel using a flexible hose, collect a waterproof bag, return before sunrise. You do this 3, maybe 4 times a month. Each run earns you around 3,000 USD, more than most Iranians make in 6 months. The risks are real. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy patrols these waters. So does the US Fifth Fleet. So do Emirati Coast Guard vessels. But you've been doing this long enough to know the patrol schedules. Your contact gives you updates on radio frequencies to avoid. And your boat looks from above exactly like every other fishing dhow on the Gulf. The night that scares you most isn't when you see a patrol boat, it's when the sea is completely quiet and you realize you have no idea who else is out there in the dark. Rank 3, the middleman broker. You've never touched a barrel of oil in your life. You work in a serviced office in Deira, Dubai. Your business card says energy trading consultant. Your actual job is connecting sellers who can't officially sell with buyers who can't officially buy. You speak Farsi, Arabic, and English. You have contacts in Tehran, in Sharjah, in Fujairah, and in 3 trading firms in Singapore that don't ask too many questions. Here's how a deal works. An Iranian state-adjacent entity, not quite the government, not quite private, has 500,000 barrels of crude it needs to move. It can't sell directly because of sanctions. It comes to you. You find a buyer, usually a small independent refinery in Asia, sometimes in Malaysia, sometimes in China's Shandong province, where dozens of independent refineries buy oil without caring much about the paperwork. You relabel the oil. On paper, it becomes Iraqi crude or Omani blend, or sometimes it gets mixed with legitimately sourced oil to dilute the paper trail. You arrange for a ship-to-ship transfer somewhere in international waters so the oil never officially touches an Iranian port after loading. Your cut is 50 cents to $1.50 per barrel. On a 500,000 barrel deal, that's up to $750,000 for sending some emails and making some phone calls. You do not think of yourself as a criminal. You think of yourself as someone solving a problem that sanctions created. You have a family in London. Your kids go to a British school. Nobody there knows what you do. Rank 4, the ship captain. You're a Greek national. You've been sailing for 28 years. You've captained bulk carriers, container ships, and tankers. You know every regulation in the Marpol Convention by heart. You are, by every external measure, a professional mariner. And you are also, right now, sailing a ship whose AIS transponder, the device that broadcasts your location to the world, you turned off 6 hours ago somewhere south of Fujairah. Going dark, they call it. In the legitimate shipping world, turning off your AIS is a serious red flag. Maritime authorities track it. But out here, in the gray zone of sanctions-busting tanker trade, going dark is just part of the job. Your ship has been sold 3 times in the past year on paper. Its flag has changed from Panama to Palau to a tiny Pacific island nation. Its name has been repainted twice. Right now, you are sailing under a name that didn't exist 8 months ago. You were recruited through a manning agency in Piraeus. The money was extraordinary, 3 times the standard rate for a captain of your experience. You were told the cargo was sensitive but legal under certain interpretations. You told yourself that was enough. You know the ship-to-ship transfer point, a patch of international water southwest of Oman. You'll meet another vessel there, pump your cargo across, and then sail empty to Fujairah, where your AIS will mysteriously come back online and you'll enter port with clean paperwork showing you delivered a completely different cargo to a completely different location. The thing that keeps you awake at night isn't the legal risk, it's the sea itself. A ship-to-ship transfer in open water at night with no port authority oversight, using hoses and pumps that may or may not have been properly maintained. One spark near petroleum vapor, and the investigation that follows will find no record that either vessel was even there.
Rank 5. The refinery contact. China's Shandong province has more than 30 independent teapot refineries. Small by Chinese standards, enormous by anyone else's. They process millions of barrels a month, and for years, a significant portion of that crude has arrived with documentation that doesn't survive close inspection. You are the procurement manager for one of these refineries. Your job is to keep the crude coming in at the lowest possible price. Iranian crude, sold at a discount of $5 to $15 per barrel below market because it can't be sold openly, is extraordinarily attractive. You don't meet the Iranians, you meet the brokers, usually through introductions from trading firms in Singapore or Hong Kong. The crude arrives with Malaysian or Omani certificates of origin. You accept those documents. You do not look behind them. Your legal team has written several memos making clear that the refinery relies on supplier representations. You keep those memos. The oil gets refined. It becomes gasoline, diesel, petrochemicals. It enters the Chinese domestic market and eventually the global supply chain. By the time it's in a plastic bottle or a fuel tank somewhere, it is completely untraceable. You earn a legitimate salary. Your bonus depends on how cheaply you sourced crude this quarter. This quarter, you sourced it very cheaply. Rank 6. The IRGC Naval Commander. This is where it gets complicated, because the organization that is supposed to be enforcing Iranian law on the water, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, is, according to multiple Western intelligence assessments, also one of the primary architects of the smuggling network. You are a mid-ranking IRGC naval commander. You control patrol routes. You control which vessels get inspected and which don't. You have relationships with the island communities of Keshm and Kish, where much of the small boat smuggling originates. The smuggling doesn't happen despite you. In many cases, it happens because of you. A percentage of every major shipment moves upward through a chain of informal payments. You are one of the links in that chain. This is not entirely a secret. It is an open arrangement, understood by everyone involved, sanctioned from levels above you that you don't ask about. The official Iranian economy is strangled by sanctions. The unofficial economy, the one you facilitate, keeps certain things functioning. You also genuinely run operations against smugglers you haven't been paid to protect. You seize ships, arrest crews, conduct press conferences. The optics require it. The line between enforcement and participation is one you crossed so long ago you've forgotten where it was.
Rank 7. The Sanctions Architect. Western Intelligence Analyst. You've never been to the Strait of Hormuz. You track it from a desk. Your job is to map the network. The brokers, the ships, the refineries, the front companies, the flag of convenience registries. You have access to satellite imagery that shows ship-to-ship transfers happening in real time. You have AIS data showing vessels going dark and reappearing with new identities. You have financial intelligence showing money moving moving through shell companies in the UAE, in Hong Kong, and in Turkey. You produce reports. Those reports lead to sanctions designations. Specific companies, specific ships, specific individuals added to lists that freeze their assets and cut them off from the dollar-denominated financial system. And then, within weeks, new companies appear. New ships are registered. New brokers set up new offices. The network is not a fixed structure. It's a living thing, and it adapts faster than any bureaucracy can respond. You've been doing this for 11 years. You know every major player in the Gulf smuggling ecosystem by name. Some of them you've never been able to touch because they sit behind sovereign protection. Some of them you've sanctioned 4 times, and they've restructured around it 4 times. The thing your colleagues don't say out loud, but everyone thinks, the oil is going to move. The demand exists, the supply exists, the profit margin makes the risk worth it for everyone in the chain. Sanctions raise the cost and skim the network, but they don't stop the flow. They've never stopped the flow. You go home at 6 p.m. You fill your car with gas. You don't think about where it came from. The Strait of Hormuz is 33 kilometers wide and carries the economic weight of the entire modern world on its surface. Every rank in the smuggling chain, from the dock worker who looks away to the analyst who watches from satellites, is part of a system too profitable, too entrenched, and too globally convenient to simply disappear. The oil moves. It always moves.